What's up, Baggies fans, football fans, and sports fans in general, to another video on the channel. Today, we're talking about how we were this close to letting Mikey Johnston go and why I think it would be a huge mistake for us to do it. We were literally this close to getting 5 million from Flamengo for him. The deal was basically done, but it collapsed thanks to fans' backlash in Brazil and concerns over his injury record. He doesn't really have much of an injury record, so I'm assuming that was more just put out there to cover up the tracks. Now, he's still at the Hawthorns, and it looks like the club are still open to moving him on. But here's the thing, I think it'd be a massive mistake, because while Johnston didn't set the world on fire statistically last season, and it would be good for PSR, it offers something to the squad that desperately needs unpredictability, directness, and a fearlessness on the ball. Welcome to the channel, guys. You know what to do. Smash that like button. We're aiming for 25 likes on this video. Leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the Mikey Johnston situation. And, of course, subscribe. We're on our way to 300 subscribers. Would we even hit 350, 400 before my birthday on the 26th of July? Who knows? Thank you ever so much, everybody, for your support. It really means the world to me. And let's get into it. So, obviously, we had the news that, he was set to join Flamengo for a £5 million deal, which would have been straight £5 million, no split, no nothing, which would have been fantastic for PSR. Mike had said his goodbyes. It looked like a done deal. But then, boom, the Brazilian fans turned on the move. Social media was filled with criticism over Johnston's injury record, and Flamengo backed out before they even boarded the flight. So he's back, still contracted to West Brom until 2028, and still very much part of the squad for now. So let's look back. Mikey Johnston, when he first came on loan in January 2024, was a breath of fresh air. He scored 7 goals in 18 games, added 2 assists, and looked like one of the most exciting players on the pitch week in, week out. That step over, cut in, and finish was his to absolutely every time. He nailed it. But fast forward to the full 24-25 campaign he signed, everybody was really excited. He made 40 appearances, scored 3 goals and registered 5 assists, which, from what we saw in the season, in the little stint of him, is not quite good enough, is it? And it's not quite what fans hope for if he's explosive starting alone. Still, there's a bigger picture here, one that numbers don't tell alone. What Johnston really brings to the table, he isn't just a numbers guy, he's a chaos merchant. He's one of those players in the squad who's willing to run at defenders, creates overloads, opens up space for teammates. I think that's the biggest one. The amount of times when there was 2 or 3 defenders drawn across to mark him, and it allowed people like Maja or Fellows to have more space when they were running, that stats don't show that. When he gets on the ball, he forces defenders to react. That either creates chances or draws in fouls in dangerous areas. Either way, that's attacking value that doesn't always get a stat. And I think that's the biggest picture we should be looking at with this. He isn't just going to be scoring goals week in, week out, but he draws players to him, and then he'll allow people like Price now, Banner, Hegbo, people like that to make those runs, to get themselves into space for goal scoring opportunities. And I think that's why we need to keep him realistically. He creates that space like Fellows does. Now, I know Mason might not want to play with wingers, but I do believe under Mason, he could be pushed into the middle and play behind the striker, and I think he could do that role really well. So what if we were to let him go? Let's be real, we've seen this before. Creative player doesn't quite fit the system, gets let go, and then explodes elsewhere. Mikey's still only 26 years old. He's got pace, technique, and vision. Sure, he's not perfect, but that's exactly why you coach him, not sell him. If the right system clicks, especially under someone like Mason, a manager who likes fast transitions, Johnston could be a real weapon for us. Letting him go now, especially after backing him with a permanent contract just last summer, would feel like giving up just too soon for me. So what's next for Johnston? Well, obviously he's gone back to Austria and he's training with the squad, and currently got the friendly game on against Dynamo Kiev in the background, keeping an eye on that. And, I really do think he could be a crucial part of the squad. And despite the noise, obviously there's still time to reintegrate him and give him that role in the squad. Whether as a super sub or a starter in a restructured front line, Mikey Johnston has value. It's up to the club now. Do they cash in on a player who's stock dipped, or do they back his talent and build something bigger? That's the big question we really need to be asking. What do you guys think? For me personally, he's fantastic. He's shown glimpses of it last season. I had this discussion on social media with a few fans when it was up for selling him, and it was, don't get me wrong, 5 million is a great value. It's turning over profit in 12 months on a player that hasn't had the best season. But replacing him with another player that's good in the Championship for 5 million, is it going to be doable? And remember, that 5 million, we're not going to be able to spend all of it because it goes against PSR. So should we really be keep letting go somebody that we know can do it in the Championship? I don't think we should. I think we should be keeping him, building around him, really. Getting him, playing him behind the striker enough where we could be really deadly. Look, Mikey Johnston isn't the finished article. He's one of the few players at the club who can do something different, something defenders don't expect. And in the league as tight and as competitive as the Championship, that difference can win you games. Letting him go now might bring in a bit of cash, but holding on to him and getting him far again, that might get us promotion. Let me know in the comments. Should West Brom Albion give him another chance, or was the Flamengo deal the right after all? Drop your thoughts below. Like if you rate Mikey, and don't forget to subscribe for more Baggies analysts every week. Thank you very much, and up the Albion.